Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Lalima Aneja Dang with the Midday News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Maritime India Summit 2021, says India is emerging as a leading blue economy of the world. Prime Minister emphasizes on creating world-class maritime infrastructure through various reforms to achieve the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Government has prepared a list of more than 400 investable projects with $31 billion investment potential, says Prime Minister. Notification for first phase of assembly elections issued in Assam and West Bengal today. Counting of votes for local body polls underway in Gujarat. BJP moves towards a landslide victory. Over 1,48 lakh beneficiaries administered COVID vaccine in the country so far. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.07%. State Bank of India reduces home loan rates to 6.7%. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Board approves sale of its 61.65% stake in Numaligarh refinery for 9,875 crore rupees. Rajya Sabha TV and Lok Sabha TV merged to become Sansad TV. And in sports, Indian hockey team to take on hosts Germany in second match of the European Tour Series this evening. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the government is emphasizing on creating a world-class maritime infrastructure through various reforms, and the country will achieve great success in boosting the maritime economy as India is a natural leader in this sector. While inaugurating the second edition of the 3-day Maritime India Summit 2021 today, the Prime Minister said India is very serious about growing in the maritime sector and emerging as a leading blue economy of the world. He said the steps being taken by the government will achieve the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat by focusing on the entire sector as one instead of a piecemeal approach.
India is a natural leader in this sector. Our nation has a rich maritime history. Civilizations flourished on our coasts. For thousands of years, our ports have been important trading centers. Our coasts connected India to the world. Friends, through this Maritime India Summit, I want to invite the world to come to India and be a part of our growth trajectory. India is very sincere about growing in the maritime sector and emerging as a leading blue economy of the world. Our leading focus area includes upgrade current infrastructure, create next generation infrastructure, boost the reform journey. Through these steps, we aim to give strength to our vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
Mr. Modi said the government has taken various steps for improving the maritime sector by increasing investment in the port sector. He said these steps are aimed at integrating ports with coastal economic zones, creating ports-based smart cities, and promoting global manufacturing activities near ports. The Prime Minister said the government has prepared a list of more than 400 investable projects which have an investment potential of $31 billion.
The Ministry of Port, Shipping and Waterways has created a list of 400 investable projects. These projects have an investment potential of $31 billion or rupees 2.25 lakh crores. This will further strengthen our commitment of overall development of our maritime sector. The Maritime India Vision 2030 has been launched. It outlines the priorities of the government. The Sagar Manthan Mercantile Marine Domain Awareness Center has also been launched today. It is an information system for enhancing maritime safety, search and rescue capabilities, security and marine environment protection.
He added that more than 574 projects worth $82 billion have been identified for implementation under the Sagarmala project.
The Sagarmala project for promoting port-led development was announced by the government in 2016. As part of the program, more than 574 projects at a cost of $82 billion or 6 lakh crores have been identified for implementation during 2015 to 2035. The government of India is also focusing on the domestic shipbuilding and ship repair market. To encourage domestic shipbuilding, we approve the Shipbuilding Financial Assistance Policy for Indian shipyards. Ship repair clusters will be developed along both coasts by 2022.
Mr. Modi said holistic development of island infrastructure and ecosystem has been initiated and the government is laying emphasis on use of renewable energy on major ports.
We will encourage private investment in the port sector, friend. Along with efficiency, lot of work is also happening to boost connectivity. We are integrating our ports with coastal economic zones, port-based smart cities and industrial parks. This will anchor industrial investment and promote global manufacturing activity near ports. Friends, as far as creating new infrastructure goes, I am delighted to share that mega ports with world-class infrastructure are being developed at Vadhavan, Paradip and Deen Dayal Port in Kandla.
The Prime Minister said the government is investing in waterways in a way that was never seen before. He said capacities of major ports have been doubled in the past 6 years, which helped in developing the economy by making Indian products more competitive. He said the government is aiming to operationalize 23 waterways by the year 2030, and Indian ports have reduced waiting time for inbound and outbound cargo. He said a program has been drawn up for development of tourism in the land adjacent to 78 lighthouses.
We aim at domestic and international cruise terminal development at selected ports through infrastructure development and enhancement by 2023. India had as many as 189 lighthouses across its vast coastline. We have drawn up a program for developing tourism in the land next to 78 lighthouses. The key objective of this initiative is to enhance development of the existing lighthouses and its surrounding areas into unique maritime tourism landmarks.
In Assam, notification for the 47 assembly constituencies has been issued today. Assembly polls in the state will be held in 3 phases. The first phase of polling will be held on the 27th of this month. A total of over 80 lakh voters can exercise their voting rights in the first phase. Here's a report from our Guwahati correspondent.
With the issuance of notifications, the process of filing of nomination papers has begun. Polling will be held in 12 districts in this phase, mostly covering Upper Assam. Though no major political parties have announced candidate lists so far, hectic discussions are on by all the political parties on seat sharing. The BJP and Assam Gana Parishad leaders held another round of meeting in Guwahati today. Both the parties had a discussion yesterday also on seat sharing. Assam Jatiya Parishad President Lurinjyoti Gogoi too held meeting with Chief of Raijo Dal Akhil Gogoi yesterday in Guwahati. Meanwhile, Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi on her second day visit to Assam met key workers at Bishwanath district today. Manas Pratim Sharma, AR News, Guwahati.
In West Bengal, notification for the first phase of assembly elections has been issued today. The additional CEO of the state, Sanjay Basu, told AIR that the time of voting has been extended till 6:30 p.m. in the evening. This time, elections will be held in 8 phases in the state. Filing of nominations for the first phase ends on the 9th of March. Here's more from our Kolkata correspondent.
Political parties are gearing up for the longest phase of polls in the state assembly elections. This time the polls will be held in 8 phases. Major political parties are expected to announce their candidates at least for the initial phases within next few days. Ruling Trinamool Congress is expected to introduce some new candidates, while BJP is also preparing to rope in popular faces in Bengal. However, the new alliance of the left parties, Congress and India Secular Front, is yet to finalize seat sharing between the latter ones. Meanwhile, the Chief Electoral Officer of the state, Ariz Aftab, will be meeting the district election officers this evening through video conferencing to review the poll preparedness. 170 more companies of central forces are expected to arrive in the state by 8th of March. Already 118 companies have reached Bengal and they are engaged in route march and area domination to instill confidence among voters. Madhuparna Chaudhary, AIR News, Kolkata.
In Tamil Nadu, with nominations to begin in 17 days, political parleys have taken the centre stage. AIADMK and DMK are in the process of garnering support from like-minded parties to form an alliance for the upcoming assembly elections. Our Chennai correspondent has the details.
BJP had several rounds of talks with the AIADMK and the seat sharing is yet to be finalized. The DMK party headed by actor Vijaykanth is also in talks with the AIADMK but yet to finalize. PMK has been given 23 seats to contest in the NDA alliance. MDMK headed by Vaiko Lok Sabha MP had joined with the DMK during the Lok Sabha polls in 2019 and is in talks for allocation of seats in the DMK front. Congress and the left parties are also to finalize the seat sharing formula with the DMK. IUML and MNM parties have ended successful seat sharing talks with the DMK. IJK party headed by Pari Vendor Lok Sabha MP has broken away from the DMK alliance and have joined the third front with MNMK party headed by actor politician Kamal Hassan. In election-related development, the Chief Electoral Officer Satyapata Sahu has said that 3 flying squads per constituency will monitor the movement of unaccounted cash and gifts at random. He told that unaccounted money and gift articles have been seized in various districts. Expenditure Monitoring Committee have also been formed in the state to monitor election-related expenses of parties. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
As Kerala gears up for assembly polls, talks are in full swing among the major political parties in finalizing the alliances, seat sharing and candidates list. Here's more from a Thiruvananthapuram correspondent.
The official notification of the assembly polls in the state is scheduled on March 12th. Nomination of candidates will be accepted since then till March 19th. The election to the 140-member Kerala Legislative Assembly will be held in single phase on April 6th. As the assembly polls are just a month away, the major fronts in the state are in the final phase of discussions on seat sharing and candidates list. In coming days, the state is sure to witness a strong contest between the major fronts, the ruling CPM-led LDF, the Congress-led UDF and the BJP-led NDA. 40,771 polling booths will be there for the assembly polls. The counting of the votes is scheduled on May 2nd. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In Gujarat, BJP swept the local body elections of 81 municipalities, 31 district panchayats and 231 taluka panchayats. According to latest reports, BJP has won 803 seats of municipalities, 246 seats of district panchayats and 1,036 seats of taluka panchayats. Congress has won 159 seats of municipalities, 55 seats of district panchayats and 388 seats of taluka panchayats. Independents have won 43 seats of municipalities, 26 seats of taluka panchayats and 1 seat of district panchayats. Aam Aadmi Party won 1 seat each in municipality, district and taluka panchayat. Meanwhile, BJP is leading in 67 municipalities while Congress is leading in 7 and others in 1 from where trends are available so far. Similarly, the BJP is leading in all 31 district panchayats where elections were held. BJP is also leading in 185 taluka panchayats while Congress is leading in 34 taluka panchayats out of 231 taluka panchayats where elections were held. The Maharashtra government has directed concerned authorities from the Energy Department not to disconnect the power supply of those farmers whose agri-pump dues are pending and also of consumers who have not paid their bills. State Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, while replying to a question in the State Legislative Assembly in the ongoing budget session, gave these directions. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
The second day of budget session of Maharashtra legislature began with the protest by opposition party within the premises of state legislature. Opposition leader Devendra Fadnavis demanded an immediate discussion on the issue of recovery of electricity bills and disconnecting power supply. The government assured that the discussion will be held within few days. Deputy CM Ajit Pawar told the House that the power supply will not be disconnected till the legislature discusses it and takes a decision over the issue. Meanwhile, the State Legislature Secretariat has made a negative test report for COVID-19 mandatory for attending the legislature session for all the ministers, legislature, officials, employees and security staff. It has also organized a 2-day camp where a test of around 3,260 people were conducted. Legislature officer informed that around 26 have tested positive, but none of them was present in the legislature. Jeevan Bhavsar, AIR News, Mumbai.
Madhya Pradesh Finance Minister Jagdish Devra presented a paperless state annual budget of around 2,41,375 crores today. Special attention in the budget is being given to infrastructure, education, employment, farmers and women. This time there will be no new tax, nor will any existing tax rate shall be increased. Here's more from our Bhopal correspondent.
This is the first budget of the fourth term of Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. The focus of the budget is on making Madhya Pradesh self-reliant. A new scheme with the objective of creating new self-employment opportunities for the youth through financial institutions is proposed to be launched in the budget. Finance Minister said that 175,000 fishermen of the state have been linked with accident insurance scheme. Budget proposes to double the income of fishermen. In the field of education, Gyanoday schools will be upgraded with CBSE, new regional science sub-center to be set up in Jabalpur, MBBS seats will be increased to 3,250 by 2022-23, nursing seats will be increased to 320, 9 new medical colleges will be opened up in the state, 3 cancer hospitals will be set up in Jabalpur, Indore and Bhopal, Police hospital will be set up in Bhopal and Mahila police station will be opened up in every district. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. Here's a reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Maritime India Summit 2021, says India is emerging as a leading blue economy of the world. Prime Minister emphasizes on creating world-class maritime infrastructure through various reforms to achieve the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Government has prepared a list of more than 400 investable projects with $31 billion investment potential, says the Prime Minister. Notification for the first phase of assembly elections issued in Assam and West Bengal today. Counting of votes for local body polls underway in Gujarat. BJP moves towards landslide victory. Over 1 crore 48 lakh beneficiaries administered COVID vaccine in the country so far. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.07%. State Bank of India reduces home loan rates to 6.7%. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Board approves sale of its 61.65% stake in Numaligarh Refinery for 9,875 crore rupees. Rajya Sabha TV and Lok Sabha TV merged to become Sansad TV. And in sports, Indian hockey team to take on hosts Germany in the second match of the European Tour Series this evening. Well, for quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to the Midday News. The cumulative number of COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country has crossed 1,48,54,000 today. Nearly 5,52,000 people were vaccinated on the first day of the second phase of the nationwide vaccination program yesterday. The world's largest vaccination drive, which was rolled out on the 16th of January this year by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, in its first phase covered healthcare professionals and frontline workers. In the second phase, which commenced yesterday, people above 60 years of age and those above 45 years with specified comorbidities are being vaccinated. Here's a report.
Nearly 25 lakh potential beneficiaries registered themselves on the cowin.gov.in portal on the very first day of the second phase of COVID-19 vaccination, which kick-started yesterday. Out of the 25 lakh registrations, nearly 24 lakh 50,000 were citizens above 60 years of age or those above 45 years with the specified comorbidities. The remaining 50,000 registered last day were the healthcare workers and frontline workers. About 6,44,000 appointments for vaccination were booked yesterday in a single day. Government has urged citizens with age 60 or more as on 1st January of next year, including those attaining 45 years or more with pre-specified comorbidities, to register themselves on the CoWIN portal and schedule an appointment for vaccination. Beneficiaries can also get themselves registered at any nearest COVID vaccination center by bringing along any government-issued photo ID card with them. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
Meanwhile, COVID-19 recovery rate in the country stands at 97.07% today. In the last 24 hours, 12,464 people have recovered, taking the total number to over 1,798,000. State Bank of India has reduced home loan interest rates to 6.7%. The bank has said that the interest rate of 6.7% will be charged for loans up to 75 lakh rupees and 6.75% for loans above 75 lakh rupees. The interest concession is based on the loan amount and CIBIL score of the borrower. The offer will be available till the 31st of March 2021, and the lender is also given 100% waiver on the processing fee. Customers can also apply online via YONO app to get additional interest concession of 5 basis points. On the eve of International Women's Day, a special 5 basis point concession is being made available to women borrowers.
The Sensex and Nifty today logged modest gains in intraday trade amid the positive global cues. Global equity indices climbed after overnight jump in the U.S. stocks amid cooling bond yields and passing of the stimulus package in the U.S. House of Representatives before going to the Senate for approval. The BSE Sensex was trading 12 points or 0.02% up at 49,862, and the NSE Nifty climbed 32 points or 0.22% to trade at 14,794. At the forex market, the rupee also appreciated 11 paise to 73 rupees and 44 paise against the US dollar. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Board has approved sale of its 61.65% stake in Numaligarh Refinery for 9,875 crore rupees. Oil India Limited, Engineers India Limited and Assam government will be picking up the stake. The government has also received multiple expressions of interest for privatization of Shipping Corporation of India Limited. The transaction will now move to the second stage.
Unified Payments Interface or UPI has registered 2.29 billion transactions worth over 4,25,000 crore rupees in the last month. As per the data released by the National Payments Corporation of India, UPI has been able to maintain its previous record in terms of average transaction value, even in 28 days for the month of February. While NPCI has not released the transactions breakup figures for February, digital payments major PhonePe had a lead over Google Pay in terms of UPI transactions volume and value by a decent margin in January. State Bank of India, which processes the largest volume of transactions via UPI among all banks, had significantly improved its performance in terms of technical decline rate in the month of January. Rajya Sabha TV and Lok Sabha TV have been merged, and now it will be known as Sansad TV. Retired IAS officer Ravi Kapoor has been appointed as its chief executive officer. Sansad TV will telecast live proceedings of both the upper and lower houses on 2 different channels during simultaneous sitting of the houses. The decision has been taken jointly by the chairman of the Rajya Sabha M. Venkaiah Naidu and speaker of Lok Sabha Om Birla, based on the report of a committee set up to look into the integration of the 2 channels. The committee had proposed a more focused and content-driven policy for viewers to know in detail about the functioning of parliamentary institutions and democracy.
Communications Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has said that on the first day of telecom spectrum auction yesterday, winning bids received till 6 p.m. were worth 77,146 crore rupees. This has already substantially exceeded pre-bid estimates of 45,000 crore rupees. He said bidding took place for spectrum in 800, 900, 1,800, 2,100 and 2,300 megahertz. Mr. Prasad said participants did not bid for 700 and 2,500 megahertz. The auction of spectrum commenced at 10 a.m. yesterday and 4 rounds of bidding took place till 6 p.m. Another 1 or 2 rounds are expected today. 3 bidders, Bharti Airtel Limited, Vodafone Idea Limited and Reliance Jio Infocom are participating in the auction.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Suryakant, Professor Pulmonary Medicine, KGMC, Lucknow, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the expert on toll-free telephone number 1-800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alert by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can also follow us on the News on AIR app for updates.
In hockey, India will take on host Germany in the second match of the European Tour Series today. The match will be played at 8:30 p.m. Indian time. On Sunday, the Indian men's team, led by PR Srijesh, put up a scintillating show in the first of their 4-match series as they outclassed Germany 6-1. It was their first international match in over 12 months. On March 6th and 8th, India will take on Great Britain at Antwerp in Belgium before wrapping up the 17-day tour. In Myanmar, crowds continue to gather in different parts of Yangon city to chant slogans against military rule as police fired stun grenades to disorient the protesters. There were no reports of any injuries. At least 21 protesters have been killed since the turmoil began. Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. National capital Delhi will experience strong surface winds during the daytime. The minimum temperature was around 15 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 29 degrees. Mumbai will have a mainly clear sky with temperature varying between 21 and 35 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have a partly cloudy sky. Temperature will fluctuate between 23 and 25 degrees. Kolkata will also have a partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 22 degrees. Maximum may go up to 35. Jammu will have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was around 10 degrees. Maximum will be around 26. In Srinagar, there will be mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature was around 1 degree, while the maximum is expected to rise up to 13 degrees. Leh will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was -9 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 4 degrees. Gilgit will also have a mainly clear sky. Temperature will hover between 2 and 18 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Temperature will vary from 7 to 23 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Maritime India Summit 2021, says India is emerging as a leading blue economy of the world. Prime Minister emphasizes on creating world-class maritime infrastructure through various reforms to achieve the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Government has prepared a list of more than 400 investable projects with $31 billion investment potential, says Prime Minister. Notification for first phase of assembly elections issued in Assam and West Bengal today. Counting of votes for local body polls underway in Gujarat. BJP moves towards landslide victory. Over 1,48 lakh beneficiaries administered COVID vaccine in the country so far. National COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.07%. Unified Payments Interface UPI registers 2.29 billion transactions worth over 4,25,000 crore rupees last month. State Bank of India reduces home loan rates to 6.7%. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Board approves
sale of its 61.65% stake in Numaligarh refinery for 9,875 crore rupees. Rajya Sabha TV and Lok Sabha TV merged to become Sansad TV. And in sports, Indian hockey team to take on host Germany in second match of the European Tour Series this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.